Look, I'm going to tell you something that changed my life completely. And it's going to sound weird at first, but stay with me here. There's this thing called forest bathing. Not the kind where you get wet, obviously. It's way more powerful than that. So here's the thing. The Japanese have known about this for like centuries. They call it Shinrin-Yoku, which literally means taking in the forest atmosphere. But get this, it's not just some hippie stuff. Scientists have actually proven it works better than most medications for stress. Kind of freaky when you think about it, right? I remember the first time someone told me to just sit in the woods for 20 minutes. I was like, that's it? Just sit there? But I was desperate, you know. My anxiety was through the roof. Couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. So I tried it. And honestly, it messed me up in the best way possible.
So, what actually happens when you forest bathe? Your body starts producing these things called phytoncides. Trees basically breathe out these chemical compounds to protect themselves. And when we breathe them in, our immune system goes crazy. In a good way. The science is wild, honestly. Dr. King Lee from Japan studied this stuff for decades. He found that just 2 hours in the forest can boost your natural killer cells, that's your cancer-fighting immune cells, by like 50% for 3 days straight. I mean, what medication does that? But here's what really got me. It's not just the air. The sound frequencies in forests, like the actual vibrations from rustling leaves and flowing water, they sync up with your brain waves. Your nervous system literally starts matching the rhythm of the forest. The Japanese government actually prescribes forest bathing, like doctors write prescriptions for specific forests. There are over 60 official forest therapy sites in Japan, each one scientifically tested for maximum healing benefits. Meanwhile, here in the West, we're just starting to figure this out. I started doing this every morning before work, just 20 minutes. No phone, no music, no agenda, just being there. And within a week, I swear, my whole energy shifted. The weird part is how simple it is. You don't need to hike miles or climb mountains. Any cluster of trees works. Even urban parks have been shown to trigger the same response. It's like our bodies remember something ancient, you know? There's this study from South Korea that blew my mind. They took office workers, completely stressed out, burned out people, had them do forest bathing for just 3 days. Their cortisol levels dropped by 16%. Their blood pressure normalized. Depression scores went down by half. But here's what the studies don't capture: the feeling. It's like your mind stops racing, not because you're trying to meditate or focus, but because the forest just naturally slows everything down. Time feels different there. The ancient Japanese believed that forests were where spirits lived. Not in some supernatural way, but maybe they knew something we forgot. Maybe they understood that trees and humans evolved together, that we need each other on some cellular level.
Here's where it gets scary, though. The average American spends 93% of their life indoors. 93%. We're literally disconnected from the thing that heals us most. And get this, we're seeing the highest rates of anxiety and depression in human history. At the exact same time, we're more disconnected from nature than ever. Coincidence? I don't think so. I was talking to my doctor about this. She told me that in her 30 years of practice, she's never seen anything work as consistently as nature exposure. But nobody talks about it because you can't patent a forest. The thing is, we've convinced ourselves that technology is the answer to everything. Stressed? There's an app for that. Anxious? Pop a pill. But what if the solution isn't more complex stuff? What if it's going back to something stupidly simple? I started challenging my friends to try it. Half of them looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Just sit in the woods, that's your big solution? But the ones who tried it, every single one came back different. My friend Sarah was on 3 different anxiety medications. After 2 weeks of forest bathing, she cut her dosage in half. With her doctor's approval, obviously. She said it was like finding a part of herself she didn't know was missing. But here's the resistance you'll face. Our culture worships busy. If you're not constantly doing something, you're lazy. Forest bathing asks you to literally do nothing. Just be present. And that terrifies people. The research shows that even hospital patients heal faster with a view of trees. Prison inmates have fewer violent incidents when they can see nature. School kids focus better after nature breaks. We have all this evidence, but we ignore it. There's this Japanese concept called mono no aware, the bittersweet awareness of the impermanence of all things. Forest bathing teaches you this naturally. You watch leaves change, seasons shift, life and death cycling endlessly. And somehow that makes your problems feel manageable. The hardest part isn't finding a forest, it's giving yourself permission to waste time, to sit without producing anything, to breathe without achievement. Our brains are literally addicted to stimulation. I watch people try to multitask forest bathing. They bring books, podcasts, fitness trackers, missing the entire point. It's not about optimizing the experience. It's about letting the experience optimize you. The forest doesn't care about your schedule, your deadlines, your goals. It operates on geological time. And when you sync up with that rhythm, everything else starts making sense.
So here's the moment everything clicked for me. I was about 3 weeks into daily forest bathing, sitting under this massive oak tree, just breathing. And suddenly I realized I hadn't checked my phone in 2 hours, not once. That's when it hit me. We're not broken, we're just disconnected, like a phone that's lost Wi-Fi. The forest is our signal booster, our biological charging station. The Japanese have a saying, the forest is the therapist, the trees are the medicine. But I think it goes deeper than that. The forest doesn't heal you, it reminds you that you were never broken. I started researching indigenous cultures worldwide. Every single one has some version of forest medicine. Aboriginal Australians have bush healing. Native Americans have earth connection rituals. African tribes have tree communion. We're the only culture that forgot. Here's what science is just starting to understand. Trees communicate through underground networks. They share nutrients, warn each other of dangers, care for their sick. It's called the Wood Wide Web. And when we're in the forest, we tap into this network. The most powerful session I ever had was during a thunderstorm. Most people would run inside, but something told me to stay. Sitting there, feeling the electricity in the air, the raw power of nature, I felt more alive than I had in years. That's when I understood the real secret. Forest bathing isn't about relaxation. It's about remembering who you are beneath all the noise, beneath the anxiety, the stress, the endless to-do lists. There's a wild, natural being in there. Join our community of seekers. Subscribe for more truths hidden in plain sight. Because what I'm about to tell you will change everything. The forest doesn't just heal your mind, it unlocks abilities you didn't know you had. After 6 months of daily forest bathing, I started noticing things. I could sense when storms were coming hours before weather apps.
I could tell which direction was north without a compass. My intuition became sharper. Stay with us till the end, and you'll discover the mystery buried beneath history. Because forest bathing isn't just some Japanese wellness trend. It's how humans evolved for millions of years. We're literally hardwired for this connection. The craziest part? You don't need perfect forests. Urban trees work. Even plant houses trigger some of these responses. It's like our cells recognize their plant relatives and start dancing. If this resonates with your soul, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right now. Because I've been tracking my biomarkers for a year now. Sleep quality, stress hormones, immune function, creativity scores. Every single metric improved. And I'm not the only one. There are now forest bathing programs in hospitals, schools, corporations. The research is undeniable. But you don't need a program. You just need to remember something you already know, deep in your bones.
So here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning, find the nearest cluster of trees. It could be a park, a backyard, even a street lined with oaks. Sit down, put your phone on silent, and just breathe. Don't expect fireworks, don't try to meditate or achieve anything. Just be curious about what it feels like to be a human animal in your natural habitat. Notice the sounds, the smells, the way light moves through leaves. That's it. That's forest bathing. 20 minutes of ancient wisdom that our ancestors knew by heart. 20 minutes that could change everything. Because in a world that's forgotten how to be still, forest bathing isn't just healing, it's revolutionary. The trees are waiting for you to come home. What do you believe? Comment below and share your insight.